All right, you guys.
Hi.
Welcome to episode
18.
18. Yeah, I think it's 18.
18.
And from what I heard, episode 17 was a hit, which is awesome.
Yay.
Yeah, it was good. I enjoyed it. I saw a lot of growth even in us, in our ability to tell our story and sell our dream than the first time we had done an episode like that years ago. So I thought it was cool.
Good job.
I enjoyed it. It was good. Let's talk about the end of the year, because the end of the year is almost here.
It is
In fact,
upon
it
us.
is here.
Yes, it's happening.
Yeah, we're on day, I don't know, almost the end.
Yeah.
And Christmas Eve. Yeah, Christmas Eve. And Merry Christmas to everybody.
Yes, Merry Christmas.
And to all a good night or morning. Right?
Yes, correct.
So let's talk about this, because we're going to follow this up with how to begin your year episode next week. But I think for a long time in business, we worked and worked and worked, and we worked right through the end of the year, right into a new year. And I think we were so focused on winning and getting off the ground that we didn't used to stop and really evaluate how we did.
Never
Really at all, right?
Yeah.
We'd set some goals for the new year, which for a long time, I think you pulled up the document, changed the year from 2021 to 2022, print,
Guilty.
and we were on to the next year, right?
Yeah.
So it was fake. It was fake goals. But we still grew every year because we were just
Working.
purely freaking hungry and tenacious, and we were going to win anyway. Hint,
Yes.
hint, no matter what.
Yeah, this is going to be intentional.
This year.
Yes.
Heck yeah, it is.
And that's what we're going to talk to you about.
Maybe for the first time ever.
No.
All right, no. That's all good. Maybe for you for the first time ever. You
It's
got to
more-
start somewhere.
It's more entertaining to say that, but it's not true.
Yeah, but we've always been intentional, but we haven't always had a really detailed, structured plan.
True.
It was usually, like in the beginning, it was just work. And we had enough going on where we always looked like we were doing well. And we were doing well, but we're doing way better now because we're taking time to evaluate and plan.
Exactly.
So we're going to give you guys 8 for the great Mamba, 8 points on how to end your year the way that we end the year.
Yes.
And we probably aren't, we'll probably just keep getting better at it, but this is the best that we've ever been for sure. Fired up?
I'm excited.
All right, so let's start. Why don't we start? Let's go with number 1. Do you remember what they were? Can you see the list?
I'm so blind.
I got the list right here in my head. Number 1, spend some time, first off, being honest with yourself. What were my wins? What were my losses? What did I do well this year? And when I say spend some time with that, I'll tell you what that looks like for me. Like for Ronnie and I, we're spending a lot of time meeting with our team from a business standpoint, right? And helping them do this, right? Helping them plan for the new year. But then when we get to the end of the year, we will sit down for 2 days, probably New Year's Eve and the day before that, and a couple days after Christmas, maybe too, and really evaluate, which we haven't even done yet.
Not yet.
Evaluate, just in the grand scheme of things, what were some of the biggest wins this year? What were some of the biggest losses this year?
Yeah, it's important to know the areas, especially where you didn't fulfill those areas, because then you can focus on those moving forward.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff. If you're trying to build a business as an entrepreneur, there's a lot of things to focus on. I mean, if I just think in our industry alone, people are just, there's so many areas, how many clients did I help? Did I send thank you cards? Do I really know my products that well? How good am I at planning finances? How many recruits did I have? Do I have anybody in my team? There's just so much stuff. I got to self-improve. I got to read. I got to catch up on the podcast. I've got to call my coach. I've got to make dinner for the kids. I've got, there's so much crap. It's hard. And so sit down for a second and go, where did I thrive? Maybe you're in the best physical shape of your life, which we're going to talk about in a second, but maybe this was the year where man, you freaking killed it in the gym. but you're deep in credit card debt. Well, there's one win, there's one loss, right? So spend some time first, just from a grand scheme, before we give you these specific points. The first things that pop in your head are really accurate.
Yes.
So when I say, what were my wins? Whatever pops in your head first, write it down. What were my biggest losses? Well, dude, maybe your freaking relationship fell apart. Maybe, you really did not focus at all on self-improvement this year, because you felt like you were just too far behind on bills. You couldn't afford to sit down and read a book. Whatever it is, what were my biggest losses? And write those things down. That's the first stuff, because that's the stuff that's in your head right at the front. Even if you don't acknowledge it, it's there, and it'll come out right when you think about it.
Yep. First step.
All right, then we move on to a couple key things, okay? Number one, this is what Ronnie and I are going to do. Evaluate all of the relationships and associations in your life.
Which one? This is really important, I think, because a lot of times we just accept whatever comes into our lives, and some of those are blessings and some of them are not, and it's really important, especially as you get older, to recognize that and to sit down and go, okay, am I adding value to this person's life? Are they adding value to my life? Are we good for each other? And I'm not just talking about in a romantic sense. I'm talking about in a friendship, in a relational sense, in a spiritual sense. Are you both contributing to each other's lives? It is a two-way street.
Yeah. I break this down into 3 questions for myself. Who's lifting me up? So I'll make a list. Who's lifting me up? Who's strengthening me, right? Who's making me better? Who's pushing me? Who are the relationships in my life that cause me to grow, challenge me to grow, encourage me to grow, and make me better? Okay, that's number 1. Number 2, who's contributing to me being stuck? So who, they're just there. They just take up space in my life. They don't necessarily, I'm stuck. I've been stuck, and they're a part of that. I make a list of that. This is the people I spend the most time with, right? And then who do I need to leave in 2023? Who do I need to disassociate from? Who's just a bad influence on me, Just is a huge distraction for me. They're the person who, hey, you want to go, maybe if you're trying to progress your life, they're kind of a problem in your life. And spend some time evaluating on this, because you can't get big if everyone you talk to is small. Mm-hmm. You can't grow if everyone you talk to is stagnant. And you can't continue to progress, especially in business, if everyone you talk to is losing and they're not winning. They're not on their A game. They're not building a business. They're not getting to another level and continuing to get to another level. And so it's real important to spend some time evaluating your relationships.
Mm-hmm. This one might be the hardest one to evaluate, because we're relational people.
Right.
But it's really, really important that you do that.
Point number 3. Spend some time, and we're good at this one because Ronnie is the pro. Spend some time looking at and reviewing your finances for the year.
Yes, very important. You want to lay everything out, right? What are our bills?
Did my net worth grow?
Yes. Can we cut anything? Where did our savings start off at? Where is it at now? Where our debt? Have we paid off some debt? All of those things. You want to look at it, evaluate it, see if you can make any adjustments, see what you need to change for the new year, and then do so.
Yeah, it's crazy. You realize how much money you spent that you didn't really have, maybe, or just money you spent that you didn't need to, that you could have kept. We did a whole episode on finances.
Yeah.
But did my net worth go up this year? Right? Did I become wealthier as a family this year? And then in the next episode, we'll talk about planning, for that year too. But spend some time looking at your finances. Number 4, we always evaluate our business, whatever business you're in. Evaluate your business. Where do I suck?
What areas do I need to grow in?
Good perspective. Where do I suck?
What areas do I need to grow in?
And where can I grow, right? What are my weaknesses? You know, one thing we always do is, hey, if someone is out trying to pass us and put us out of business, where's our weakness? Like if we're going to compete with ourselves, where is the weak spot? Where is like, oh, I could catch them there. You know, I could catch them through that, you know, or whatever it may be. So spend some time really looking at it, being brutally honest with yourself in every one of these categories.
That's very important.
Ronnie's always got the little period at the end. That's important. All right, but yes, evaluate your business. Where can I be caught, right? Where can I improve? As Ronnie said, where do I suck? You know, be honest with yourself. We also spend some time evaluating our fitness and health.
Nothing else matters if you don't have your health. And this, I mean, think about it, right? It affects your finances. It affects your relationships. It affects your life, like your enjoyment, right? Your quality of life. So you want to start taking care of it now before something happens, right? You want to be proactive. So are you getting an annual checkup at your doctor? Are you working out, right? Are you eating right? Now is a good time to reflect and say, hey, what do I want my physical, my health to look like at the end of 2024?
Yeah. And it's not just from the outside, it's from the inside, right? Like the checkup at the doctor.
Yeah.
But there are some obvious signs, you know. How do my pants fit? Did I go up in a size? Did I go down in a size? You know, like I'm excited because this year I went down in pant size from a 36 to a 34, but I went up in shirts from a large to an extra large. Freaking nailed it.
So you have chicken legs?
No, heck no. I just don't have an inner tube
I know.
around the middle, you know? Before I could bobbing in the ocean. You know?
Stop it.
I don't have that anymore.
Just kidding.
Well, I'm just saying, I was excited about it. Like someone told me, so one person messaged me and said, dude, I watched season 1 of your podcast and you could fit 2 of you in the size of you today.
No, you can't.
It was a compliment. They're like, I could see you've been in the gym. Joey told me that too.
Joey always has something to say about someone's physical appearance.
Joey's hype. It was a compliment.
This time.
You hear that, Joey? You hear that? But they said, like, dude, you've been in the gym. But you could be in the gym and not be healthy, right?
Yes.
So it's focusing on eating healthy, drinking enough water.
Feeling good.
Yeah. Do you feel good? Do you feel good? That's really the biggest thing. Do you feel healthy and strong and, you know, like you're on your A game? Energy, someone told me, well, I don't go to the gym because I'm tired. I'm like, well, you're tired because you don't go to the gym. You know, the body is made to move. The body's made to exercise. Exercise is good for you.
Yes, very.
Especially getting outside, doing a walk, you know, taking a block of sun and, you know, focusing on that stuff. So fitness and health. Did I make time for that? Did I go to the gym consistently? Do I have an eating routine? Am I on some sort of a regimen? I'm always on a diet. And it's not to lose weight. It's just like, if I'm not on a meal plan, I actually end up not eating enough, you know, and so I'm always focused on that and having some sort of a regimen. Number 6, family. Are there relationships I need to give more time to? Are there relationships I need to pour into? Are there relationships I need to repair?
Areas where maybe you need to be more present, right? Your relationships with your kids, with your spouse, with a partner, your siblings. It's just really about like, hey, are these people a priority to me? And if so, it's not really about the amount of time you spend, but it's about the quality of time when you spend it. And so that's an area where I think a lot of us can get really busy and we tend to lack.
Yeah, that's good. Quality time. Quality time. And then just sometimes you got to have those hard conversations. Like we did an episode this year on conflict resolution, right? You know, a lot of that stems in family. People write family off and they just go, well, whatever. You know, but then someday when you're standing at that person's funeral and you have all these regrets about how like, man, I should have just got over it. I was being stupid. That's a common thing. And that's not a place that I would ever want to be in.
No.
And so it's easier. The end of the year is a perfect time to repair relationships going into the next year. So you leave all that crap in 2023. So good. Number 7, self-improvement. How many books did I read? Did I listen to podcasts? What did I do for improvement? How many books have you read this year?
I just checked today. I read 45. My goal is 48, so I need to finish 3 ASAP.
In 1 week.
I can do it.
Piece of cake. Yep.
Yes.
How many books did I read? How many podcasts did I listen to? How's my mental health? Right? Mental health is part of
Really
self-improvement.
important, yes.
What am I doing for my mental health? What am I doing to improve my mental health? There are things that you could do. There are apps that will help you work on your mental health and your self-improvement. There are things you could do like gratitude journals, affirmation journals. There are things you could do like just plain journaling.
Meditation.
Yoga is good for your mental health. And and it's very
Breath work.
very hard exercise too. Yoga is rough. My most experience with yoga was a P90X yoga back in the day, which
That was
like,
a long time ago.
yeah, dude. Yeah, it's long. All these years, I still can't do it. It was rough.
Well, yeah, because that's the last time you tried.
Exactly. But mental health, right? Are you focused on your mental health? You know, that's really, really big. Do you have someone you talk to? Do you have a therapist that you talk to? You know, journaling is very healthy. But yeah, these are all parts of self-improvement. I think I'm at 40. I think I'm at 45 or 46 books as well. Yeah. And I'll hit my goal by the end of the year. So yeah, reading, podcasts, mental health, YouTube audio, you know, just a bunch of stuff that's good for your self-improvement. Am I better today than I was in January? That's the bottom line, right? Am I healthier today than I was in January? Do I have stronger relationships today than I had in January? You know, am I in better shape today than I was in January? There's so many things. Last one, evaluate and spend some time evaluating your faith, right? Your walk with God, whatever that means to you. For us as, you know, Christians and believers in Christ, we spend time on that. Did I grow in my faith this year? What needs to happen for me to grow?
These are questions only you can answer. Really, nobody has any business answering them for you. It's
Imagine I actually don't think you grew in your faith this
right.
year. I think you're a bigger jerk.
You know, this is about you being, you know, in that quiet space and, you know, with God and really looking within and deciding where you're at and where you want to go.
There are things that you could do to grow in your faith. I think worship music is a really big part of allowing you to maybe connect, right? I love worship music. I also lead worship, so I'm kind of biased to worship music, but I love worship music. Also, you know, there's tons of short devotions that you could watch on YouTube. Like Stephen Furtick does one almost every single day, I think. There's the Bible app, right, which is full of devotions if the Bible is something that you read and that's part of your faith. There's regular apps, you know. You could find an app for everything.
Everything.
Fitness, you're like, I don't know what to do when I go to the gym. There's an app for that. You know, gratitudes. I don't know how to do gratitudes. I'm sure there's an app for that. Meditation, there's tons of them. You know, Headspace is a good one. There's just a ton of meditation apps. And there's an app for pretty much every single thing on this list.
To track it.
Yeah, to track it if you don't have resources or don't know where to go. But here's the bottom line. This is how Ronnie and I end our year. And this is how we're going to end our year this year. And it allows us to evaluate life, evaluate the year, evaluate pretty much everything from the very top to the bottom, from relationships to finances and everything in between. And I think if you take the time to do this, it allows you the opportunity for next year to be better than this year. Because
Absolutely.
Awareness is the first thing, right? All right, finish us off.
And the last one is...
We have another one?
No, just kidding.
Oh.
Oh, yes, that last one is Merry Christmas, you know, Happy Holidays to all and everyone. And yes.
Oh, what?
Huh?
You know you want to say it. And to all Good night. She's lost. That's
I'm
what
very-
Santa Claus says.
Does he?
Yes. I'll show you on YouTube.
Okay, thanks. Anyways, Merry Christmas. Happy holidays. Thank you so much for all the love. We hope that you are spending it with loved ones and, just creating some fond memories. So we will see you right before the new year, and happy holidays.
Boom, we're out. Ho, ho, ho.